This is Thad Horton. One of the most important elements of winning football is the kicking game. Although it may not seem as exciting or dramatic as running or passing, kicking often makes the real difference between defeat and victory. One major team that has had great success with the kicking game is Georgia Tech. Coach of the Yellow Jackets is Bobby Dodd, who's a great kicker himself and a great teacher of kickers. Because he believes in this valuable weapon, Coach Dodd uses the kicking game to win football games for Georgia Tech. Here he is to show you how it's done.
Thank you, Thad. We're going to demonstrate punting, returning punts, quick kicking, the kickoff, and the extra point. First, of course, is the regular punt. No kicker can do a good job until he learns to drop the ball properly on his foot. Let's do it in slow motion. Starting with a relaxed stance, knees slightly bent, hands open and extended. The right hand is the key factor, holding the ball in position to drop. The left hand guides it. The ball should fall straight away, hitting the instep of the foot at a slight angle. In the stance, the feet are about 6 inches apart, with the right one slightly in front. The ideal approach is a step and a half. First, a short right step, then a full step with the left foot. The ball is released as close to the foot as possible. The kicking leg is held rigid, from hip to toe, swinging through in a complete arc with a full follow-through. In a game with Army a few years back, Dave Davis of Georgia Tech shows perfect form with perfect results. Dave had a lot of leg power, and he really laid into this one. The ball went 81 yards and died on the 1-inch line. You don't get them like that every day. For a kick with lots of height, the ball is held fairly close to the body. The arms are extended full length for a long spiral, though, and the leg puts whip behind the ball. Although different punters have slightly different techniques, form is the important thing. Although the center is supposed to lay the ball into the kicker's hands, the punter must be prepared to handle the ball wherever it comes. The important thing is to get the body into position behind the ball so that the kick can be gotten away as quickly as possible. This is the sort of thing that happens when the kicker doesn't recover from a bad snap. A blocked punt, that beats Southern Methodist for us. A fumble snap can be saved with your lap. In moving to meet a bad snap, both feet should be together so that the kicker is in normal position as soon as he gets the ball. Pappy Waldorf, one of the all-time great football coaches, claims that 68% of all the games his team over a period of years lost was because of some phase of the kicking game. In protecting the kicker in spread punt formation, notice how the halfbacks crisscross. They get better blocking angles this way and sometimes take out 2 or more men at a time. The fullback is on the right side of a right-footed kicker and blocks the first man through. In covering kicks downfield, our guards and tackles switch places to give us more speed. For a left-footed kicker, the fullback protects the left side. Everything else stays the same, except the ball bounces over the goal line and comes back out to die on the 1-yard line, as this one did in one of our games not long ago. As important as kicking is, running them back is just as important. Our linemen check at the line of scrimmage, then fan back upfield, setting up blocking angles along a corridor about 10 yards inside the boundary line. Our safety men crisscross, and the man with the ball heads for the corridor. If he gets past the corner all right, he may go a long way. Here's one who did. The side of the field where the blockers will form has been signaled in advance. George Valkert keeps the ball, gets a good block at the corner, and goes all the way for a long touchdown run against Tennessee. Valkert was an outstanding runner for us. From a vantage point on the practice field, let's take a closer look at the twin safety setup. The safeties split the field, keeping about 15 yards between them. The man who takes the kick crosses in front, handing off our faking and keeping. On the handoff, the burden of responsibility is on the receiver. The man with the ball holds it level on his outside hip and extends it gently into the pocket under the receiver's elbow. The receiver moves the ball to his outside hip and drops the inside shoulder to hide the exchange. Both men must be convincing active, either keeping or faking. Here's an actual game shot where our halfbacks faked so well they lost the cameraman. Well, that hot action calls for ice-cold Coca-Cola. At Georgia Tech, we've served Coke to our players after practice periods and during the halftime break in ball games for several years now. We found that Coca-Cola gives the boys real refreshment, a little bit of quick, pure energy that's mighty welcome. That goes for the coaching staff, too. The quick kick is one of the most effective weapons a team can use. The ball comes back between the quarterback's leg to the fullback or to one of the halves. The kick is made over the territory of the right guard and the quarterback. It just clears the line of scrimmage and hits behind the safety man where it's supposed to get a good roll. The value of the quick kick lies in the element of surprise. It can get your team out of a hole and put the other team in one. In waiting for the snap, the quick kicker stays low in normal position for a running play. He turns to his right and takes his steps parallel to the line of scrimmage. The ball is held pointing upfield, and the foot hits it on the rear third, giving it the end-over-end movement that makes for a good long roll. In this game against Southern Methodist, notice that Dickie Madison, one of our good fullbacks, gets his kick away in a hurry, low end-over-end and behind the safety man. Unless the other team anticipates your quick kick, there's usually no run back. This particular one came to rest on the 3-yard line, which is about all you can ask. Now let's just watch a couple of beautiful slow-motion shots of Ken Owen executing the quick kick. Notice the tremendous whip in that hip and the full follow-through. Again, it's the form that counts. The big secret in the success of the quick kick is aggressive forward blocking all along the line of scrimmage. There must be absolutely no penetration by defensive linemen if the kick is to be gotten off. We've used the quick kick a great deal at Georgia Tech, and it can be a mighty handy thing to use. Kicking off and returning back kickoffs is another very important part of the game. In running them back, we sometimes use the safety man crisscrossed and the blocking card you saw set up for punt returns. The crisscross frees his tacklers coming downfield, and when the man with the ball makes the carder, he's headed for home. In setting up the kickoff, the kicker places the ball on the tee, slanted backwards at a slight angle. Then he measures off the proper distance for his approach. This distance will vary from kicker to kicker, but each man should find out the number of steps required for him to reach full momentum without breaking stride. Then he should use this distance for his approach on every kick. In practice, a chalk mark 4 to 5 inches from the bottom point of the ball makes a good target for the kicker's toe. On his last left step, the kicker should be close enough to the ball so that his right leg can kick through it with a lot of snap. Finally, let's talk about the extra point, certainly one of the most important parts of the kicking game. The holder's first job is to go immediately to the tee when he receives the ball. The kicker starts his approach from a step and a half behind the tee. Both the kicker and the holder keep their eyes on the spot until the kick is completed. We tell our kickers that they don't need to watch to see whether it's good or not. The referee will give us the signal about that. The kicker's first step is a short right, then a full left step to a point 6 inches behind the ball. Then the kick with the right leg lock step. The kick is under the ball with full follow-through. With aggressive blocking up front and an accurate toe, you've got yourself an extra point. Yes, this is the payoff window, where you win or lose football games. Every part of the kicking game can make a difference. Punting and returning punts, the quick kick, the kickoff, and returning kickoff. And finally, the part that puts the points up on that scoreboard, the place kick after touchdown. They're all important, and they're all part of the kicking game.